you're sailing. And so to start off, we're going to need to know the basics. And the basics are port and starboard, and which one is greater than the other one, and which one has rights. So pretty much to start, if you don't know already, the port is the left side and the starboard is the right side. And pretty much, if the wind is hitting the right side of your sail, you're on a starboard tack. But if the wind is hitting the left side of your sail, then you're on a port tack. And when it comes down to who has the right of way and who should be allowed to go, if you are on starboard tack and you're going to interfere with someone who is on a port tack, then the person on starboard will have right of way over the person on port. And I'll draw a little diagram. Okay, so here we have two boats, a starboard boat, which is the blue boat, and the port boat, which is the black boat. And so you can see if the black boat keeps going on its course, that the two boats will collide. So in order to prevent the collision, the black boat will either have to tack over, or they could simply go under the boat and duck the starboard boat, but it would be much easier to tack over. And that way you'll prevent any collisions that might occur. Okay, so now that we've done starboard and port and established who has rights there, we're going to move on to windward and leeward, which is a bit trickier when it comes down to applying it. Pretty much, leeward is when you're going, when you are further downwind with another boat on the same tack, and a leeward boat will always have the right of way to a windward boat. And that's pretty much it for leeward and windward. There's not much other than that. This diagram or this picture, we have windward and leeward boats. The windward boat being the black boat here, and the leeward boat being the blue boat. The blue boat, which is leeward, will have right of way over the windward boat because it's more downwind, and the general rule is that leeward is has the right of way over a windward boat. But the third thing is an overtaking boat. So an overtaking boat is when a boat is behind you and you're going for, say, like downwind, and the boat is trying to pass or something. That boat does not have rights, so that boat must stay clear because they're able to maneuver much easier than you are to stay out of their way. So now that we have covered port and starboard, windward and leeward, and the overtaking boat, and have talked about which boat has the right of way and why, now you guys are gonna, let's see if you guys know what to do in these certain scenarios here. In the final situation of rules and right of way, we have the overtaking boat, and as you can see, the blue boat here is trying to be overtaken by the black boat, and the blue boat does have right of way over the black boat because the overtaking boat must stay clear, and that's simply because the black boat will have a much easier time maneuvering around and avoiding the collision, and they could go over there instead of the blue boat having to move, which is not the rule. So now it's time for you guys to apply what you learned and draw some situations. Okay. Can you tell me which boat here has rights? Which boat is starboard and which boat is port?
Starboard. Port.
Very good. Okay. Now, another example.
My stomach's twisted.
Okay. And now, if the wind's coming from here and they're going upwind again, which boat has right of way and why?
This boat, because he's on starboard.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Honestly,
High five, Chris.
I was gonna be like, so, give me an example of a windward and leeward boat scenario.
Okay. Should I write leeward in here?
Draw the sails.
Sails.
And yeah, label which is which. to demonstrate your understanding.
For what?
Okay, very good. In the scenario of an overtaking boat, which one of these boats would have right of way? Going downwind.
That one.
This is good. Very. Okay, now that you guys know about that and the rules about starboard and port and windward and leeward and the overtaking boat, we're gonna move on to a scenario of what happens when you have a commercial boat and what you're supposed to do. So does anyone have any idea of what you're supposed to do? Okay, no one? Alright, so in this scenario, you technically wouldn't have rights because the commercial boat is a much bigger boat than you are in your little sailboat, and it would be much easier, much safer, a lot more convenient for you to just move out of the way and move off to the side, preferably the right side if you can, but if you are not able to, then just staying out of their way is good enough. I'm going to draw up a diagram or a scenario of what something would be like. Okay, so here we have the diagram of a commercial boat, and I drew this as if it was coming down like a channel or something with rocks on the side and the water going through the middle. And so as you can see, the commercial boat's really big compared to the size of your sailboat that you would be sailing, and it's much more convenient and safer for you to just go off to the side and continue tacking upwind or whatever direction you're going in than for the commercial boat to try and move and have the possible dangers of hitting the rocks or something that has a much greater consequence. Now that we've covered the rules of the road, the right of way, starboard over port, leeward over windward, and overtaking boat must stay clear, and we've gone over some examples and what to do if you're in the way of a commercial ship. Now we're going to just review everything really quickly and just as a final thought. So just looking back at it, we have starboard and port, and starboard has the right of way. And that's the number one way to determine like who has right of way, and it's also the easiest. After starboard and port, we had windward and leeward. Leeward being the boat that would have right of way. Remembering that leeward is the boat that's further downwind and to another boat that is on the same tack as you. Third, we have an overtaking boat must stay clear. And that one's pretty self-explanatory still. And for the commercial ships, just remember that you should stay to the right and stay out of their way, and don't go too close to them or anything like that. And that's pretty much it for this lesson.